What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to another Epic 7 video. I know it's been a hot minute, but today we have the Immortal Wukong preview. We've seen his images, we've seen some skill leaks and things like that, but I wanted to wait for the official preview to talk and really look at it with you guys, and then additionally, we get to see the artifact as well, because I don't think that was ever data mined or leaked before this. So thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get into it.
Don't misunderstand why the Monkey King appeared to you. It's not you who called me, it's I who chose you.
Okay, that's pretty cool. The voice sounds interesting. I think I like it. But I like his kind of cocky attitude. Being a literal god, right, in Chinese mythology, I believe?
Immortal Wukong is an automatic doll developed in Policia using advanced materials.
In Policia.
Making him impervious to damage.
Yeah.
He can only be destroyed through the Gingoa program.
Definitely fits that futuristic vibe with Lost Rider Crow, all of them.
Because of his unpredictable nature, so for a long while he had been sealed away. However, when a mission appeared where no other candidate was deemed worthy, the decision was made to reactivate Immortal Wukong.
By the way, any y'all Warframe fans out there?
Immortal Wukong.
We'll take over from here, but man, straight up Wukong from Warframe, especially with these like little light things. You'll see it better when it's kind of like headdress sort of thing, but I love it. Maybe we'll get a Warframe collab later down the line. But yeah, let's go ahead and check it out here. We have an Earth Warrior with attack imprints respectively on each self and team. And then here is the stat breakdown. We have a Scorpio stat line. Very offensive. Okay. Skill introduction. Let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to start with a passive called the Immortal one. Very lore fitting. Increases crit hit resistance and penetration resistance, which I think is our first character with pen resistance. 4, 7, 10, 15. So we're going to have 50% base on each. And when the caster suffers a non-critical hit, increases attack and speed by 20%. Can stack up to 3 times. Okay. So we're going to want to have our guy taking hits here so we can stack up that attack and speed. Very, very interesting. Especially the penetration resistance. We've had a lot of units with crit hit resistance. Think of units like Navy Captain Landy, for example. But then we have a stacking sort of like vigor buff with attack and speed by 20%. All right, very, very cool. Are they going to show an animation for this? Let's see. Maybe him getting hit and showing the buff stacks.
Increases attack.
Let's go and check it out here. Wait a second. What was that? What are they showing us here? Oh. Okay, I think they just cut out the... Huh. What am I missing? Usually they preview the actual skill, but he's doing an attack there. I'm not sure which animation that is for yet, but all right. Let's go ahead and see here the skill 3. I'm assuming that's just his skill 1 animation. Skill 3, Heavenly Fighter Strike. Increases attack, so we have self-attack up for 2 turns before attacking the enemy and stunning for 1 turn. When the caster's attack is greater than the target's attack, damage dealt increases proportional to the difference up to a maximum of 70%. Unaffected by elemental disadvantage, which is very good. We have a stun, we have a self-attack up, and then we have an attack scaling ability here, right? And remember, on our passive too, we will gain attack as well. So typically with self-attack up, and then if we stack up the passive, there's not a lot of things that we won't outscale if built properly. 3-turn cooldown after skill enhancement, and then elemental unaffected by elemental disadvantage. So we didn't get the bonus damage, right? Like some units, I believe Luna and Sid. I could be wrong on one of those, but they have elemental advantage, so they get bonus damage. Wukong will just never worry about... he won't get any negative modifiers affected, but he won't get benefits as well. Very good regardless. Very, very cool skill, but passive, but that is a distinction to have on that skill 3. Let's go and check out here the animation. We saw this in the beginning, but you know me. I'll always want to see it again. So he looks atop the city, jumps in. We have that little like stand hologram ability behind him. 62,000. So I'm assuming that's the Rift boss. Skill 1 swing. Attack the enemy with Ruyi Bang. I guess that's his pole arm or his pole. And grants a barrier to the caster for 1 turn. All the skill enhancers are just damage. Barrier strength increases proportional to the caster's attack, which is nice, right? Because we're going to have a ton of attack. And then after we lead with skill 3, right? Typically, what was the attack up? Is for 2 turns. Okay, cool. And then, yeah, we'll get an even bigger barrier. When used on the caster's turn, attacks all enemies, so that's AoE. The change attack does not trigger a dual attack. Okay, so on the caster's turn, so no counter attack No extra attacks, dual attacks, right? He'll AoE when it's his own S1 where you're pressing it yourself. For PvP though, I actually think this is a downside in a lot of areas. But for PvE, right, that can be very nice. So let's go ahead and see. It kind of seems like his kit is trying to hit a lot of different areas. They're showing us the preview, and we'll see the showcase at the end. I want to see what they're going to show us here. But I know a lot of players, people have been assuming he's going to be a Rift boss. Now, while that might be fine, if he's a mandatory unit for Rift boss, that would be a little bit annoying. But if he is great in Rift, maybe not 100% mandatory, and he's also usable in other areas like PvP, I think that would be best case scenario, because I think a lot of players are going to want to pull for this guy. All right, so I think that wraps up. Did they not show us an animation here for swing? Okay, I guess the swing animation was from the oh, there it is. Excuse me. Okay, I'd like to see the AoE one as well. All right, so we have artifact here for Ruyi Jingu Bang. Tool used to measure the depths of rivers and seas. Increases. Wow. So we get a straight up increased crit hit chance by 24% at max, and then crit hit resistance by 20. I know a lot of people, before we knew the artifact, were thinking of things like Snow Crystal. Choose artifact here because, right, we stack up the where is it? Immortal one. We can stack up the crit hit resistance, and then of course we want to stack up the additional kind of scaling buffs up to 3 times, right? So obviously anti-crit would be very nice, and we can get that from 50 to 70% with Snow Crystal. But I think this is going to take the cake. Snow Crystal gives combat readiness when you suffer a non-critical hit. This one is just straight 24% crit hit chance. So if you can capitalize on that increased stats, which is a crap ton, I believe this will be overall better than the combat readiness on a missed crit hit. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have to pick up one of these for Mr. Wukong himself. Okay. Lobby animation, and then we'll watch the showcase while I give my final thoughts. I also want to quickly mention some other things, but I might save that for another video. So drop rate up banner starting June 20th already this week, guys. Hopefully you got some bookmarks. And he is not a limited character, right? They would have said it otherwise. I saw some other people saying, you know, it's confirmed he's not limited, so that is a good thing. However, I would suggest, highly suggest pulling for him. I haven't checked out the new Rift boss. But I know there was either leaks or Smilegate previewed it somewhere. But a lot of players are assuming that he's going to be very important, right? With the crit hit resist and the AoE, going to be very nice. I'm just trying to find an animation here. I think this is the new Rift boss, right? Abyssal Tyrant Kraken. Yeah. That he's going to be very important there. So even though he's not limited, guys, I still think you should definitely pull, because who knows when his banner is going to come back. I don't know if he's going to have a side story they can pull for him later. If you miss out on him now, Rift could be a pain in the butt, this upcoming Rift, right? Okay. All right. So he's got a little juggle animation. Does he also eat those? I'm guessing that's fruit. Looks like a big old peach or something. Let me know if you guys know what that is. All right, combat demo. Let's see what they're doing for PvP. What is Smilegate cooking in regards to how do we utilize this guy in Arena? And then maybe we can extrapolate that to RTA, Real-Time Arena, as well. Don't forget, guys, the WC is coming up. I will be casting in it, so make sure you guys stop by. I'd love to see y'all there in the chat. Okay, so we're getting the ML Poly Janua combo here with Tywin stun, but we get that, you know, the AI there couldn't really capitalize on that defense break. It's a little bit risky. We got that cut in between, and some big old damage from haste onto that Briar front line here. Okay, so it seems like Wukong in this scenario is kind of just... we took some non-critical hits. Or did we? I believe so, but we had the Briar Witch kind of soaking, and she was there just in case, bait out that haste. And I guess Wukong is pretty much our primary damage here after the Bryceria sets up those debuffs. So let's see his S3 with that increased attack. We also had that plus 70% damage. Up to 70%, I should say. And we actually went into Janua with that 22,000 plus a stun. So very nice Janua counter here. For the Wukong. So yeah, already a very important use. Janua is all over Arena, all over Guild Wars, especially on defense. So I like that for him. And I would love to see this character be good, not just in like Rift mode, right? So already Smilegate showing us, and I think a lot of people are predicting he'd be good versus Janua with that stun as well. All right, guys, I don't think there's too much else to talk about. He looks great. I'm sure he's going to be played. I really suggest pulling. Not even for anything like I expect him to be super strong in RTA. Nothing like that. Just I believe he's going to be extremely, extremely important for Rift. So if you plan to play Rift, and you should for this upcoming Rift season, I guess, part 2 of Rift, I think you definitely need to pull farm, limited or not, okay? All right, guys. Well, I'll have some more Epic 7 content for you soon. I do want to talk with you guys about Mage Luna, but let's go ahead and save it for tomorrow. We're going to have a 1-minute summary, I believe, for the global side, because Wukong, I think, is for the Chinese server. Was it their anniversary, something like that? And then we're going to get him in global. So we finally got the preview. Pull form this week. We'll talk more tomorrow when we cover the 1-minute summary. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Catch you all in the next one. Peace out, guys.